I knew that I was going to come to Iowa the day that I toured campus.
It felt like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be.
I just loved the campus. I loved meeting all of my potential professors.
Being here in Iowa City, there were so many things going on. It was such a vibrant academic and intellectual, but also creative community.
There's not a person in my major or that I've met at Iowa that I don't feel like I can go to.
It really felt more like a family.
Iowa does an amazing job of giving you so many different resources to figure out who you truly are when you come here.
The coolest thing about being a Hawkeye is that it doesn't mean one thing.
I want to be a visual storyteller and a filmmaker. What's been given to me here can really help me with that.
I got a lot of leadership experience and I want to use that skill to impact other people.
Valuing the people that you work with is the most important thing, and that's definitely the lesson that I'm going to take away.
Being able to have the entire country rally behind you and having that lasting impact on women's basketball, it's honestly a dream come true.
I've never even been into sports, but I learned just how awesome it is to be in that community of we are all students here right now cheering on this one thing.
Every time I wear a Hawkeye shirt, I always hear somebody yell, "Go Hawks," at me. So I know that that's going to follow me wherever I go.
From COVID and everything that happened, I was stripped down to the essentials of leaning on my people and learning how to allow people to help me.
It was really hard to kind of adjust to being at home all the time.
Coming from a first-generation student, being resilient meant staying through college, pushing myself to be the best that I can be.
Not being able to see my family, that was really tough in a way that I probably still haven't completely processed.
I'm thankful for the peers as well as the mentors that I've had who have allowed me to be resilient.
I would love to thank my mom, my dad, obviously.
Thank you, Aunt Kelly and Uncle Mike, for raising me, for being there for me. And
My colleagues for some of the best years of my life.
My neighbors and my community members here in Iowa City.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
I'd like to thank my fiance for being there and supporting me.
Thank you to my friends for making all of this worth it.
All rise, and may it please the court. It is my honor to present the Iowa Law Class of 2023. Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Kevin Washburn, and I have the privilege of serving as Dean of the University of Iowa College of Law. In this 2023 commencement exercise, we will graduate students earning law degrees this year. For today's program, I'm joined on the platform by today's commencement speaker, the Honorable Dana Oxley, Iowa Law Class of 1998, our thoughtful and hardworking president, Barbara Wilson, who has the most important assignment of the day, conferring the degrees that the members of this class have earned. And of course, we have representatives of the exceptional faculty of the College of Law. On behalf of the community, I extend a special welcome and hearty congratulations to our most honored guests, the loved ones of today's graduates. Thank you for supporting our students through the terror of the first year of law school, the hard work of the second year of law school, and the impatience of the third year of law school. Let me note that 2020 was a stunningly difficult time to begin a legal education. Thank you for comforting and encouraging these students when things didn't go exactly the way they'd hoped, and for cheering on their truly extraordinary achievements when things didn't go exactly the way they'd hoped, and for cheering on their truly extraordinary achievements from their matriculation during the pandemic through the graduation. Without your unwavering support, these graduates would not be here today. Well done. Graduates, please join me in applauding your family and friends. Distinguished members of the class of 2023, now please join me in welcoming President Barbara Wilson to the podium.
Welcome to today's commencement ceremony. I'm so very honored to be part of this important day for all of you. I attend quite a few of these over the weekend, and I don't get to go to all of them, so I'm really delighted that this worked out in my schedule. I offer my heartiest congratulations to all of the graduates at this very special moment in your lives. And I also join Dean Washburn in extending a special greeting and a special thanks to the family, the friends, the partners who've been so important in your law school journey. As new law graduates, you are at the forefront of change, and that change is only going to accelerate, both in your professional arenas and in society at large. I know that the intellectual growth and the professional skills that you've developed here at Iowa will help you adapt to that change, but I hope it will help you lead the change. I look forward to seeing how you will contribute to a better future for all of us. Even though we are saying farewell to you today, you of course will always be part of the Hawkeye family. Your work here will always remain a part of the foundation of our excellence. Your work in the future will, of course, reflect quite positively on your University of Iowa education. And we hope that you will continue to be a good friend and an advocate for the University of Iowa, and that you will come back to visit often. As you know, last December, we lost a great figure in the life of the College of Law and the University of Iowa. Willard Sandy Boyd, Professor of Law and President Emeritus. Sandy was especially known for his eloquence and brevity in his speeches. And in honor of him today, I would like to read his final commencement address from 1981 entitled Valediction. I won't sound like Sandy, but I'll try. Here we go. As you and I graduate, we wonder how well we are prepared for the worldly life hereafter. The university has enhanced our intellect and our abilities. It has also provided us with perceptions about how to approach our uncertain future. This is what I have learned at Iowa about our future. There is never a good time to do anything, so do it now rather than later. Our times are our only times. There is no positivism in negativism. Be optimistic. The future will try and frustrate us, but it will always invigorate us and inspire us. Materialism is not enough. Attend to your spirit as well as your mind and your body. Be concerned with the whole of you. Change is constant. Embrace it with enthusiasm. Keep your mind open and inquiring. Remember, however, that change is more often superficial than profound. Life is more evolutionary than revolutionary. Therefore, adopt a set of timeless beliefs to hold firm in order to maintain your identity and integrity throughout your life. The world is filled with others as well as you. It belongs to everyone without regard to race, sex, creed, or other differences. Be affirmative about others. Others will give meaning to your life. Be interested in others, and you will be interesting to others. Be committed to others, and they will be committed to you. Things are not usually as they first seem. Avoid rash conclusions. Give others the benefit of the doubt. Be honest and candid with yourself as well as with others. Do not judge others by a higher standard than you judge yourself. In a pluralistic world, there are many right answers to any given social or economic problem. Do not assume your cause is more just than others. Your rights stop where the rights of others begin. The means are more important than the ends in a free society. If you seek fulfillment, utilize all of the time of your life. Participate fully, avoid snug harbors. Complacency is deadly. Look forward, continue to grow. As long as you live, you have a future. Seize it. And finally, a cardinal rule which I have just breached: do not venture unsolicited advice or unsubstantiated opinions. But if you must, be brief. We hope that Sandy Boyd's words will inspire you and live on with you as you go out into the world as new University of Iowa graduates. Once again, congratulations, good luck, and best wishes for great success in the wonderful years ahead of you. We are all very, very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Wilson, for spending this afternoon with us. One of our traditions is that the graduating class selects a speaker, and it's my great honor to introduce our next speaker, who was selected again by the class, and that is Audrey Felderman. Audrey, please join us.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Dean Washburn. To begin, there are many thanks due to everyone here today, but I'd first like to thank Renee, Dean Crane, Dean Washburn, and everyone else who has worked so hard to put together last night's banquet and today's ceremony. We are fortunate to have had your support over these last 3 years, and we are lucky to commemorate our time with such beautiful events. I would also like to thank the faculty, staff, and administration for all you have done to support us during our time at Iowa Law. And a special thank you to our esteemed professors. Without your tutelage, work, and mentorship, many of us would not be the future lawyers that we are today. Thank you for showing us that the practice of law is not just an educational pursuit, but an opportunity to consistently learn, and to be embarrassed on cold call for the failure to do so. I want to thank all of the families, friends, partners, and spouses here today to support a graduate. I've never had the pleasure of speaking in front of so many people, and it's terrifying. But luckily, I know that everyone here today is here because they are either a graduate or someone who supports a graduate. Having made more than a few midnight panic phone calls over the years, I know it is not always easy to support your law students. Thank you to each and every one of you here for your invaluable support. Finally, thank you to my colleagues and fellow graduates. It's entirely surreal to me that we have made it here today. And that's not just because I saw many of you at Joe's Place last night, and I'm actually wondering how you made it here today. Rather, it is surreal to me because it doesn't seem like it could possibly have been 3 years ago that I met you all through virtual boxes over Zoom orientation. I remember sitting in my living room, listening to Dean Byrd list all of the accolades of our incoming class in utter astonishment. And then the derecho knocked out my Wi-Fi for the next week, and I missed the remainder of orientation. Luckily, the second years have been kind enough to show me around the law building for the last 2 years. Fortunately, before I lost my internet connection, I was able to get my first law school assignment, a 20-page Supreme Court opinion and an assignment to write a letter to myself. In this letter, we were asked to write about what drove us to go to law school. So how did we get here? For many of us, the journey to Iowa law wasn't linear and can't be reduced to waking up one day and deciding to go to law school. Some of us decided to take the plunge into 3 years of reading, writing, and argument because we liked the intellectual exercise. Others of us wanted to follow in the footsteps of those we admired most in our lives and in history, whether that be parents, scholars, movements, or leaders. Many of us wanted to be those role models for people in our lives. For my fellow graduates today who are parents, I am not only in awe of all that you do, but I can safely say that your children are too. And if they haven't told you yet, it's probably just their age. Some of us took the plunge into the unknown by attending law school having never met an attorney in our lives. Others were inspired to take whatever steps we could to begin to remedy the systemic injustices we saw in the world. Some of us wanted to expound upon a commitment to service, and others wanted to not only join a community of people that valued the shared exercise of discussion, but wanted to learn skills to help develop communities in the future. And for others of us, we maybe just watched Legally Blonde one too many times. For all these different reasons and more, we all ended up at Iowa Law. The different paths that led us here are what made us unique. And once we got here, we didn't lose all those different backgrounds, perspectives, and decisions that brought us here. Instead, we did what any good M&A lawyer does, and we leveraged our skill set. Once at Iowa Law, we may have begun to ask ourselves why we ever thought law school was a good idea. This could have come somewhere between the 30,000 pages worth of reading and the realization that there is yet another exam after we graduate. But in those moments of panic, we could return to our letters, our families, our purposes, and remember what drove us here in the first place. Moving through law school was hard. There is no doubt about it. But over the last 3 years, we have likely not only found new reasons to love the law, but have found new ways to answer the question inevitably to be posed in the future, how did you get here? There are 3 qualities that I hope we can take away from our experience at Iowa Law to help not only inform our answers to this question, but our practice in the future. First is a sense of community. During our time at Iowa Law, we have been members of 41 student organizations. We have served as mentors and advisors to current students and future colleagues. We have created events, run symposiums, and held space for new perspectives and discussion. And even sometimes, when sharing our enthusiasm for legal doctrine, we have been asked to quiet down in the library. When I was struggling to think of how I could even begin to give a speech to a group of individuals who I couldn't have more respect and admiration for, you all are the people I turned to. And like everything else in law school, you supported me and allowed me to rely on our community for inspiration. When you leave Iowa Law, although we won't have the physical building to congregate, I hope that when asked how you got wherever you are, We will think of your Iowa Law colleagues and the sense of community wherever we go. I hope that we can use these qualities to be the glue people in our careers, the people who form connections and bring others together for the better of the whole. The second quality is resilience. These last 3 years have been a test to our resilience. Beginning law school during the height of the pandemic was literally just the beginning. For some of us, this meant that we learned the names of our colleagues' pets more than the rationale behind the rule against perpetuities. Others of us took to Friday night Zoom trivia, which luckily turned into Joe's Place trivia 3 years later. Of our graduates from Cameroon, Canada, China, Costa Rica, France, India, Nigeria, South Africa, and South Korea, the additional fortitude you all exemplified during this time amazes me. I recall classes with our international colleagues zooming into lectures from the middle of the night to attend class and never once complaining or missing a beat. Or if you did, at least you had your camera off. This resilience to overcome wasn't only pandemic related. For some of us, the imposter syndrome might have told us every day that we weren't meant to be here, and yet here we are. For others of us, the systemic hurdles and obstacles that are a part of our society prove to be yet another odd stacked against you that you have overcome to be here today. So when asked in the future how you got wherever you're going, I hope we can all point to our abilities to withstand obstacles with grace and resilience. The third quality I hope you take away from your experience at Iowa Law is humanity. A very wise woman, my mom, once told me that you will never forget or regret being kind. There's not a day that has gone by that the kindness of my colleagues has escaped me. This extends beyond the good morning hellos and waves in the hallway, but I can see it in the care, consideration, and pride that we put into our school. Over the last 3 years, our graduating class has contributed 7,156 service hours to our community. To those of you who represent the Pro Bono Society at today's ceremony, thank you for representing our community and our class. To our colleagues representing clients in externships and clinical programs, thank you for taking your legal education into practice. To the leaders and board members of our student organizations, thank you for putting time and effort into the internal growth and development of our institution. Although the professional rules require a lot of things to be a good lawyer, they do not require your humanity, unless I missed that one on the MPRE. So in the future, I hope that our experience at Iowa allows us to answer the question of how we got to be so successful by relying on the kindness of others and by being Iowa nice. When we leave here today, we will all be heading off on many separate paths, and I hope you are able to take some time to reflect on the journey that led you here today and where it will take you in the future. Then, inevitably, when you're asked, how did you get here? I hope you'll think of your community, your resilience, and your humanity. And I hope you'll think fondly of your time at Iowa Law. Within just a few minutes, we will all become part of the less than 0.5% of the population who call themselves lawyers. As the last 3 years have demonstrated, not only is this no small feat, but this is no small task. This speech simply wouldn't comply with the online advice for giving a graduation speech if there wasn't at least one inspirational quote in here. So I'll leave you with my favorite. We choose to do the other things not because they are easy, but because they are hard, because they will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept. You have all chosen to go into this field not because it is easy, but because it is hard. I respect and admire all of your successes here at Iowa Law, and I can't wait to see how you pursue your passions in the future. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Audrey. It is now my honor to introduce the other commencement speaker, also selected by the third-year class, and that is Justice Dana Oxley. Justice Oxley graduated 25 years ago from the University of Iowa College of Law. After graduation, she clerked for the Honorable David R. Hansen of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit for a one-year term originally, and then was invited back to serve as a long-term clerk for the judge, and clerked with him until 2011. She then left for a career in private practice, including with the law firm Shuttleworth and Ingersoll in Cedar Rapids, and Justice Oxley was then appointed to the Supreme Court in 2020. So she has something in common with all of you. She started at a very difficult time as well. Justice Oxley has remained very close to her alma mater. She has been an adjunct professor. We could call her Professor Oxley as well, because she has been a professor for us repeatedly over the years, volunteers often in our work, and continues to be like an extended part of our faculty. As a justice, she has been a wonderful addition to the court. Like our students, again, starting at a difficult time, she nevertheless quickly learned the job. She too has overcome challenges in her life, and what I love best about her is the wonderfully human voice that she uses in her opinions. Like other judges, she focuses on the law, but she talks about the law in a way that is authentic and very accessible. That is what the best writing does. It conveys ideas clearly and reaches all the audiences it is intended to reach. Justice Oxley's opinions accomplish both of those tasks exceedingly well. Her writing is in the best tradition of what we affectionately call the writing law school. We are proud to have Justice Oxley as our alum, and we are grateful that she has joined us today. Please join me in welcoming Justice Oxley.
Thank you for that warm welcome. Madam President, Dean, faculty, family, friends, and you, the graduating class of 2023. I am so honored that you invited me to be here to speak with you today, and that I get to be one of the first to say to you, congratulations, JDs. I sat in your seat 25 years ago, and I know what a milestone this is. You each traveled different paths to get here, and you now have spent the last 3 years grinding through what is the process of law school. And now you are ready. But ready for what? Let me start with a question. What do you call 1,000 attorneys at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. Get used to lawyer jokes, because as soon as people find out you're an attorney, you'll hear lots of them. I actually like to hear a good lawyer joke. If nothing else, I think they keep us humble. But why does the legal profession support an entire genre of jokes? I even ran across a book on Amazon called Restatement of Retorts, Comebacks for Lawyer Jokes. So what gives? Part of that reputation might come from our role in society. As a general matter, people turn to the legal profession when they're in trouble or they have a problem. They've been arrested for something they did or didn't do. They have a conflict with their employer, with their neighbor, with their soon-to-be former spouse. They or the company they work for were sued for overstepping a line in whatever business they're in, or they need to sue someone else who stepped over a line. People will come to see you generally only when they have a conflict. Conflict is at the heart of what we as lawyers do, and conflict is at the heart of society today. So what does that role look like for you as you leave this hall a newly minted lawyer? We have 2 kids, 27 and just turned 25, and if you do the math right, Ryan was about 2 weeks old when I was sitting where you are. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, our 20-something kids like to use the word adulting as a verb. So I looked at to see if the verb form of adulting had made it past the Urban Dictionary, and it turns out that the verb form of adulting has been used for quite a while, but it has really only come into its own as used by millennials. So you can say that adulting has adulted. You all tend to use adulting to refer to responsibilities you associate with adulthood that you don't really want to do. Remembering to renew your car registration or making an appointment for the dentist. But what does adulting look like for you as a new lawyer, coming of age in the world around us? Pick up a newspaper. Okay, I just aged myself. Click on your latest news link. And what do you see? Tennessee legislators voting their colleagues out of office for failing to follow the rules of decorum rather than engaging with them when those colleagues took to the House floor to demand gun control following the most recent mass shooting in their state. Or students heckling a speaker brought to campus by a different student organization to the point that the speaker had to leave without finishing or really even getting to start his speech. I'm not talking about the recent Matt Walsh lecture here at the University of Iowa. From what I've heard, Iowa students protested, but they did it in a way that made their voices heard while allowing the opposing voice to be heard too. No, I'm talking about the event at Stanford Law School in March, where Judge Kyle Duncan from the Fifth Circuit, who had been invited by the Federalist Society, was shouted down by opposing students to the point that he left without giving his lecture. The story went viral based on an administrator's attempt to restore order, but I bring it up today to point out the student's response of heckling the judge to the point he was unable to speak his views, rather than engaging him and with dialogue to express their own views. These events reflect a phenomenon in our society where people have come to believe that they have an apparent right to react to things with which they disagree with unfiltered or unadulterated response. You can't filter me. You can't tell me how to feel or how to think. It's better to silence the opposition than to hear what they have to say. And that's a hard time to be hanging out a shingle as a lawyer. We have conflicts. That's a part of our society, a part that has existed pretty much since the beginning of time. But it is how we seek to resolve our conflicts that matters. And when people turn to the legal profession, to you, it is important and it matters how you respond as an attorney. Over the last 3 years, you've learned about contracts, properties, torts, a whole host of areas of the law. But much of your day-to-day work as a professional, whether you're a litigator, in-house attorney, a transactional attorney, or you're working in another field altogether using your law degree, will likely be spent working with people to resolve conflicts. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about your role in that process. In essence, you need to be the adult in the room. Think first of yourselves as problem solvers. What is a conflict other than a problem that needs a solution? When someone comes to you with a problem, whether it's a contract to close, a government regulation to navigate, or a lawsuit they want to file or need to defend against, your job is to help them find the best solution for their problem. It is important to see your role as that as a problem solver and to help others see your role that way too. The word attorney means advocate, someone who fights for you, like a gladiator, Maximus, in hand-to-hand combat with Commodus in the Roman Colosseum. But it also means a counselor. It brings up an image of a wise person, maybe Frasier. Okay, I'm dating myself again, just ask your parents. Sitting in his tweed jacket, smoking a pipe, ready to give good advice. The problem solver is somewhere in between, maybe a little bit of both. To be a good problem solver, you need to be able to put yourself in your client's position to a point. It is important to be empathetic to your client's position, and you certainly need to understand where they are coming from and how they want their problem solved. After all, the client is the boss. But never forget that you are not the one with the conflict. Your client is. Your job is to help them find a solution to their conflict. When you're the one that's in the conflict, it's really easy to get caught up in your own side of the story and ignore the other side. Life is complicated, right and wrong, equity and inequity, these are all very complicated. But to your client who is stuck inside their conflict, things are black and white. I've been wronged and the other side is totally to blame for it. Your client will oversimplify things, and maybe that's okay, it's their conflict. But that's not how resolution happens. There are always two sides to any story. And as a problem-solving lawyer, it is really important that you not lose sight of that fact. And here's why. You also need to be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Part of teaching you how to think like a lawyer these last 3 years has been teaching you to argue any side of an issue. That's not always fun when you get stuck with the side that you don't agree with. But learning how to make an argument on different sides is really learning that there are arguments to be made on different sides. That recognition is critical to being an effective advocate. I spent 10 years as a career law clerk for a federal appellate judge, and when I returned to practice, my partners accused me of thinking and writing too much like a judge. They were probably right, and that worked out in the end okay. But I think it also helped make me a better advocate for my clients. I approached their cases by looking for the weaknesses in their position, not to cut them down, but to shore it up. Sometimes that allowed me to find a strategy to fill in the holes, and sometimes it meant making concessions to reach a settlement that best met my client's needs. Meeting a contrary position requires really understanding it so that you have an answer based on reason. Simply denying that it has any worth sets you up to miss the opportunity for a reasoned response and a better resolution. This is not unlike the discussions about tolerance that we hear from society. We need to tolerate views that are different than our own. We don't have to agree, but we do need to acknowledge that there are different views. There is much wisdom in that sentiment. Everyone comes to today having experienced different yesterdays, and their views are shaped by those differences. It seems we often miss the point to acknowledge that someone else's views, you need to understand them. And to understand them, you need to listen to them. And to listen to them, you need to let them be said. This applies in life, and it applies in resolving your client's conflicts. So go, adult, even when those around you do not. Congratulations.
Thank you, Justice Oxley. Now it is time to turn to the important business of the day. President Wilson, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Law, who is on the stage with us today, I am proud to present the candidates before you. They have completed all the requirements for the degrees of Juris Doctor, Masters of Studies in Law, and Master of Laws as designated. Members of the class of 2023, please rise and remain standing.
Dean Washburn and faculty of the College of Law, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I hereby confer on each of you the degree of Juris Doctor, Master of Studies in Law, and Master of Laws as qualified and designated. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Thank you, President Wilson. I will now ask the graduates to come forward to be individually introduced by Professor Joseph Yockey and to receive their doctoral hoods from Dean Emily Hughes and Professor Derek Muller. We will begin with students earning the MSL degree, followed by Juris Doctor students, and concluding with the student earning the LLM. Please proceed.
Natalia Wellenreiter. Chukwuemeka Ademora. Hannah Altman. Kyle Patrick Apple. Juan Arenza. Tyler Aubrey. Nalila Awasa. Andrew Charles Ball. Sarah Rose Ballard. Nadine Benuelos. Ricardo Barquero Cordoba. Ian Paul Bartelt. Jonathan Bauer. Harper Lee Beasley. John Beatty. Leighton Barrage. Barrett James Biershank. Rebecca Christine Birch. Charlotte Larissa Bonaquisti Summer. Delaney Page Bounds. Maya Bourgeois. Anthony Demetrius Jackson Brantley. Taylor Broke. Avery Janelle Brown. Emily Elizabeth Bushman. Brianna Bustamante. Chantel Lee Cade. Emma Caparula. Tiffany Carter. Wayne Anthony Comstock. Catherine Margaret Kalaschy Conlow. Phoebe Cooper. Amber Crow. Andrea Marie Delamonte. Miranda An Dom. Colin Davis. William Davison. Kelby Jolacy Deck. Kelsey Nicole Damel. Patricia Rose DiPasquale. Michael James Dillon. Charles Timothy Doyle. Jad Gabriel El Shahal. Cassandra Lynette Urban. Wali O. Fatai. Audrey Ann Felderman. Garrett Fisher. Nathan Ford. Reagan Adriana France. Matthew Alfredo Fuentes. Henry David Gale. Rory Gallagher. Garrett Gibson.
Rory, congratulations.
Apurva Gokare. Nicholas Charles Goodnow. Geneva Fatima Guadalupe. Morgan Amina Rivka Haddad. Kelsey Hall. Mark Stephen Hart. Luke Harvey. Jacob Hatanpa. Fernando Hernandez. Edward J. Hirschway. Elizabeth Hoper.
Edward, congratulations.
Thank you. Sydney Haller. Tyler Humphreys. Trevor Hurd. Nicholas A. Johnston. Ian Jungaward.
Nick, congratulations.
Luke Patrick Kennedy.
Ian, so happy for you.
Martin Christopher Kiernan. Brenna Kenyon.
Martin, congratulations.
Ethan Kleesner.
Brenna.
Sahil Kumar.
Ethan, congratulations.
Keaton Wayne Larson.
Sahil, I'm so happy for you.
Hibe Latif.
Good job.
Mark Lawson. Maggie May Lee.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I'm exactly. It's okay.
Mark.
Sarah Leiby. Marisa Liebneri. Samantha A. Leo.
Thank you so much for the card. Oh, you're welcome.
April Yue Lee. Benjamin Jacob Louviere.
Congratulations, I'm so happy. Good job.
Kelly Elizabeth Lynch.
And congratulations.
Maggie May Martinson. Hannah Musselma. Haley Marie Mashing. Jamie Lynn McCarthy. Ryan McClelland. Walker McDonald. Sean McIverin. Olivia McGovern. Evan McKay. John Mark Miles. Sandra Morales. Emily Ashlyn Munt. Michael Needle. Charles Neff. Jenna Nelson. Ezat Nzuli. Emily Renee O'Brien. Jesus Ochoa. Nyan O. Dami Omotundi. Sophia Ortiz. Eweosa Owenaze. Ryan M. Paff.
Thank you so much.
Reed Palmer.
Brian, congratulations.
Nabiha Pasha.
Reed, congratulations.
Anna Peterson. Austin J. Pitts. Claire Pecos. Angela Rose Pruitt. Serena Camhia. Mauricio Ramirez. Sarah Reyes. Allison Zimmerman Richter. Gabriela Rivera. Acacia Kelly Roberts. Olivia Roberts. Margaret K. Rocky. Paige Roth. Samantha Cher Rose. Maya Jarish Sanaba. Mary Catherine Scarpinato. Preston Scher. Chloe Mariah Schumacher. Nicholas Guy Schwacke. Emma Seeley. Meg Sill. Jacob Anselm Skold. Gabriella Rebecca Small. Tatiana Rochelle Smith. Nicholas Smoger. Veronica Stafford. Joseph David Steinbron. Madison Stuber. Samuel G. Sweer. Vanessa Taylor Vasquez. Timothy M. Terhar. Cheyenne Ellen Thomas. Grace Elizabeth Tobin. Riley Truax. Emma Adam Azuaga. Anayo Yume. Alexis Vargas. Jasmine Emily Velasquez. Grace Forbrick. Andrew Walker. Brennan Christopher Walker. Jordan Weatherless. Natalie Wink. Jonathan Christopher Wergeland. Ellen G. Wea. Connor S. Williams. Allison Williamson. Jacob Wilson. Joshua Lee Winters. Michael Wu. Dongbo Wu. Nicholas Beatty Cass Yost. Rachel Zing.
All right, please join me in congratulating the class of 2023. But before we close, let me add a few words of farewell to the 158th graduating class and the newest alumni of the University of Iowa College of Law. The most beautiful public building in this state, and in many other states too, is the State Capitol building, the place where laws are made. The most beautiful, except for Hansher Auditorium today, right? There's a reason we build these shrines to the law. As our country's 35th president, John F. Kennedy, observed, other societies may respect the rule of force, but we respect the rule of law. If you're wondering who is responsible for ensuring that this country follows the rule of law, you can now look in the mirror. More than anyone else, it is the lawyers in society. There's a good reason that this country has elected more than half of its presidents from the ranks of lawyers. There is a reason that so many United States senators and representatives are from the ranks of lawyers. It was mostly lawyers who founded the United States. It is a lawyer who led this country out of the Civil War. It is a lawyer who led this country out of the Great Depression. You too will help lead this country forward as well in support of the rule of law. The challenges are greater than ever, including the ones that Justice Oxley spoke about. But let me remind you that Iowa law is a public law school. That means that the state of Iowa and ordinary Iowans, from the farmers in their fields to the cashiers at the local Hy-Vee, contributed to the cost of your legal education. After the celebrating is over, please think seriously about how you will give those hardworking people a return on their investment in you. The need is great, and your options are many. I know you will choose well. You are a special class, and we feel very privileged to have spent this precious time with you at the very beginning of the long arc of your career. Law school is supposed to be challenging, but it was more challenging in your time because you had the additional layer of COVID-19, but you never let it knock you off your path. On behalf of the faculty and the staff, I offer our affection, our admiration, and our deepest congratulations. We will miss you. Please come back to the Boyd Law Building to see us now and then. The Iowa College of Law 2023 commencement exercise is now adjourned. Please remain in your seats until the faculty and students have completed the recessional. Then we welcome you to join us over at the Boyd Law Building for a reception. Thank you, everyone.